Welcome to Courtside with Coach Billy Hahn here at the Green Turtle. Appreciate you coming out and do this show every Tuesday and Wednesday night, depending on when the Mountaineers play. So last night, the Mountaineers played last night, so we did it Wednesday night. Next week, we'll be back on Tuesday night, same time, 6 to 7 next Tuesday. I want to thank the Green Turtle for being my host and having me feel comfortable here. I want to thank the staff here at Green Turtle. They are absolutely tremendous. Waiters and waitresses do a great job. Food's here very good, and just want to thank my hat and tip them to the Green Turtle. I also want to thank the Dominion Post. The Dominion Post is another sponsor for my show, and the Dominion Post tapes this and puts this on dominionpost.com, and they have it loaded and ready to go at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. You'll be able to see this and watch this. You can tell all your friends or whatever. Get the pub out there, and I appreciate it. Tonight, I bring in special guests every time I have a show. Tonight, I thought I would do something a little bit different. My second half hour, we'll talk about basketball more and the game last night. But tonight I brought in our head athletic trainer for basketball, Randy Meador.
Hello.
Randy, thank you very much.
Thank
Give
you,
Randy
Billy.
a big hand. Thank you. I thought pretty unique this year bringing Randy in because you had a brutal year basketball season.
That's definitely true.
Have you ever gone through anything like this
No,
as a trainer?
Not even close. By far the most injuries I've ever had.
So let's go through from the very beginning, everything that you've had happen to each player, and tell my listening people basically what happens. What happens to everybody. Talk about the treatments, everything like that. Let's go through everything.
Well,
start from the beginning.
Well, it starts all the way back in the summer. Beadle had a high ankle sprain in May.
Right.
Literally took 8 weeks to get back. We get him back. He resprains it in July.
Right.
Took us 4 weeks to get back.
Right.
So that takes care of Beadle there. But, of course,
right,
we got another Beadle injury.
Right.
Sags, he injured his knee in July.
Right.
Had meniscus surgery, which everyone knows. And then that's just been a
constant
battle and soap opera and everything else associated with that.
Right.
At the same time, Andrew Gordon, we inherited him as a junior college transfer in May. And I've never seen anyone so far behind with an ACL rehab as he was.
Right.
He was about 12, 14 months out from ACL, but he was literally probably at about the 2 or 3 month mark.
So he had no rehab.
Oh, he was so far behind.
Really?
Yes, really. He had what we call a bad extensor lag.
Right.
And then, so he had operation in July too, because he had a piece of hardware go bad.
Right.
And everything else. In July, I was more worried about him getting back than Sags.
Right. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so you see how that happened.
Just the opposite.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Meanwhile, so we move along. We got Andrew back.
Right.
Early in practice, Beadle hurts his hand again. Or not again, but Beadle gets hurt again. He hurts his hand.
Right.
Well, of course, on his shooting hand.
Sure.
And that set him back.
Yeah.
And then we move along with Beadle with this, that, and the other thing. And, because he had the flu and he had an elbow injury down at Myrtle Beach.
Yep.
And then he gets over here and he sprains his ankle again. Third time, high ankle sprain.
Now, Hugs the other day, I don't know if it's true or not, but he announced that Beadle's going to be done for the year. Is that, that's what Hugs said. I don't want to, it's already out there. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but.
It's definitely a possibility.
Possibility?
Yeah.
And Hugs also mentioned that Sags is gone for the year. Who knows?
Who knows? And, Sags, there's been a lot of information out there about Sags. And, being injured for so long, your motivation wavers.
Right, I got you.
So, with both of these guys being injured basically the whole year.
Right.
the amount of motivation they have
I got you.
is up and down.
Right.
So I hate to say take it week by week, but after several weeks of being injured,
It's hard,
not be,
man.
yeah, it's hard on them
yeah.
mentally. Yeah.
And if they do come back, I mean, how good can they be basketball shape wise? I'm not talking about. I know you got them to ride the bike, stationary bike, and get them in the swimming pool and do that rehab in the swimming pool and everything like that. But I mean, basketball wise, to be in shape would be really hard. Missing this many times.
Yep.
Brandon Napper, he was
Brandon
through him.
Well, Brandon, his first year, he injured his knee in September, and he had meniscus repair. So the repair takes longer to recover.
Right.
So we had him back. Obviously, he redshirted, but we had him back in February, practicing against JC and everything. So February and March, he's playing really well against JC. And then in late April, he gets a blood clot. So that wipes out the whole summer.
Right.
Because the whole summer, he's not allowed to have any contact with the blood clot.
Right.
So he's shooting, lifting weights, doing conditioning.
Right.
But no contact.
Right.
No full practice.
Nothing.
No live practice.
Right.
Yeah. So, he was hoping that he would transition better from last year to this year, but you just don't know how much that live practice affects you.
Sure.
And he's still a freshman, even though he's a redshirt freshman.
Exactly. Because he didn't practice a whole lot last year.
No, not until late in the year.
Not until late in the year.
Yeah.
Who makes the final decision, Doc, on who sits out and who can play and when they can play? Go through that protocol of how that works at WVU for basketball.
Well, with a blood clot, like with Brandon or a health medical type issue, Dr. A.J. Monceau would have and B.J. Balsick would have the final calls on those type of things. They would have the final
call on that?
Yeah, because, those are going to be based more on tests, time, follow-up, blood tests, etc. So that's B.J. and A.J.'s area.
Right.
Orthopedically, we have Dr. Ball, and, so he'll do those surgeries, of course, that we've talked about, but then I need to do the rehab aspect with them. And as I'm rehabbing them, I'm getting them more functional. And like you talk about getting them into basketball shape. And then I'll functionally test them and make sure they can do what they're supposed to do on the court and perform. And as long as Dr. Ball is happy with that, then they'll get the green light.
I got you.
But then I just get them ready. Coach puts them in the game. So even if I think they're ready, that doesn't mean they're good enough to play or put them in. How do they come in and rehab on their? I mean, do you set up meetings for them to come in and rehab? You give them a time structure. Is it pretty much when their schedule allows them to come in? Tell me about the rehab on these kids. Well, some of them, when they're completely out, we practice 3 hours every day. That's probably enough time for me to take care of their injury.
Right.
If they're partially practicing or something like that, then I need them more.
Right.
So I'll get them either before practice or I got guys that have big blocks in the morning, and I can take care of them in the morning too.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they pretty good about coming in? I mean, are they pretty?
Most of them are pretty good.
Responsible?
Yeah. Because they have the desire to want to get back and play.
So right now, we had 2 players that were let go by the university policy, in Wesley Harris and Issa Ahmad. And now we have Sags and Beadle. They're out. And now Napper, what happened to Napper? Latest, he hasn't played 2 games.
Yeah, I think he'll be back tomorrow, though.
You think he'll be back tomorrow?
Yeah, so literally Brandon's gets tripped up, has the ball, and he's basically sitting on the ground.
Right.
Then our big man, Logan Rout, lands right on his
right on
upper back.
Is that right?
And then hyperflexes him.
So he had a neck problem.
Yes, he did.
So he misses 2 games.
Yeah, but I think he'll be back, and he's very motivated.
You think he'll be back?
Yeah, we were working with him today and everything.
Right.
So, I can get him back to practice. Coach puts him in the game. I only take him out.
Next question I have, last night's game, triple overtime. I know Hugs gave them today off, which they probably desperately needed. But last night, those guys played 50, 52, 56, 50 minutes.
Yep.
I think there's 4 or 5 of them played that long.
Yep.
What kind of dehydrate? You know, I saw last night. Jermaine was cramping up.
Yep.
So tell me about that.
So Jermaine's first year here playing at this level. I'm not sure he's always ready to play the amount of minutes he's playing now or at this level. So, but we try and hydrate him as much as possible. We have special formula drinks, endurance formulas that have more electrolytes in them and everything.
Right.
And we try and push those on the guys early. They got to be willing to drink, though, and they got to be willing to take it.
Right.
I think some people get a little nervous stomach, too, on game day and everything.
Sure they do.
And a little jittery.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with that, though, that increases the chance of cramps.
Right.
But if you're not eating and drinking because you're a little jittery, and then you're going to go play 50 minutes.
Right. That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. So he's more likely to cramp.
So will the other guys that played that many minutes that didn't cramp up last night, did they do anything today? Like, did they get in a cold tub?
Yeah.
They come in?
We had a great day today.
You had a great day?
We had a great day. Coach said, I want the whole team in there at 1:30.
1:30 today.
Some guys came early and everything. We gave them the option. We have these Normatec boots,
right,
which are basically big boots that go over the whole legs and then sequentially compress air through them. So it's basically like getting a massage.
Gotcha.
So we can elevate them and use Normatec.
Right.
We can foam roll and stretch. And you've seen the facility. I mean, I got a beautiful cold tub and a hot tub and a therapy pool. Right. And most of them chose to do like a contrast in the cold and hot.
Right.
So we had everybody in there today, and it was a good day.
Doc, how about the machine, not the machine, but the thing in the weight room?
Oh, the cryo chamber.
What's that? How much is that used? And explain everybody about that.
Well, the cryo chamber takes the philosophy of like a cold tub to help prevent soreness and recovery. And it's basically a wraparound chamber that you stand in, and you only have to be in it for 3 minutes because it literally gets below 0 degrees.
Right.
Unfortunately, today, it's not working. So it was all on me. But that's okay. But yeah, Sean Brown has access to the cryo chamber, and we can use that typically whenever we want.
Do the kids like to use that thing? I mean, it's a lot quicker, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think
doesn't take near as much time.
Right. If they got class, study hall, something like that, 3 minutes, whole body,
really
done. Where the cold tub, I mean, you're going to get good effects after 10, 12 minutes, but I really like you to be in there 15 or 20, and it's just more uncomfortable. But yeah, so the cryo chamber's been a nice advantage.
You know what, Doc? I don't think people out there that we're talking to, I don't think they understand how cold that cold water is.
Yeah.
I mean, the cold tank's brutal.
Yeah, it's definitely
cold.
It
takes a while, man.
Yeah.
To get used to that.
It's 59 to 61 degrees, and you think about that too. Now, if you just put your hand in there and don't move or anything, but when you have 3 or 4 guys in there, you turn the Whirlpool jets on, and that water's constantly moving.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty cold.
Pretty cold, isn't it?
But it numbs everything up, and then the guys know that the advantage of it is when you get out, you feel better.
Right.
As you warm back up and everything.
So, besides our players, I coached. I was here for the 10 years. You take care of the coaches as well. All the stuff that our needs. I mean, we go through a whole season. We get sick. I mean, we might have come down with a cold or something like that. Doc has always been available for us to. If we got to meet a medical doctor or whatever, but you've always been good to give us, I shouldn't say drugs, should I?
But medication.
Docs are drug supplier.
Yeah, but everybody gets sick, and you think about our travel. I mean, the travel is brutal.
You know what? I swear, Doc, and I know it's just our group, but not like commercial airlines, but I don't know what it is, but when you fly, are you more susceptible to getting like germs and stuff?
Sure.
Because every time I go on a plane, I swear I get something wrong with me.
I mean, you're in closed circulation.
Right.
Air's being circulated. You have
That's it.
You have 1, 2, 3 people in there,
And they got
and they spread whatever they
spread
have.
everything, right?
There's no doubt about that. Now, there's times where I've encouraged Coach, if we have people sick, it's
just leave them
time.
home.
It's just why,
Smart,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, leave them home. Same
How
thing
about-
with managers. I don't even want them near us.
Let's give these people a little education about your background. How many years you been? Hate to age you. How many years you been the trainer here for basketball? Where you came from? Where you went to school? How you trained to become a trainer? Give us, educate us a little bit. How it all started.
Well, I'm from Oxford, Ohio, and that's where Miami University is in Ohio.
Right.
And I was interested in athletic training even from high school. So when I went to college, I pretty much knew I wanted to be an athletic trainer, and they had a good athletic training program there. So I was at Miami, trusted my head athletic trainer there and everything, and he said, a good graduate school would be West Virginia University.
How about that?
So I came over as a GA.
Right.
And back there, the GAs was 1 year.
Right.
And I was a athletic trainer with the football team as a GA in 1984.
1984 was
Yeah,
your.
and we went to the Blue Bonnet Bowl.
1984 was your first year here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I told my lovely wife then that
Right.
we'd be over here for 1 year and then we'd head back over to Ohio. So you do the math, 84 to now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, she still holds that against me every
Yeah,
now
I'm
and
sure
then.
she does. Most wives hold a lot of stuff against you.
Yeah. So,
But it's been a pretty good run overall.
Oh, it's been a blast. Yeah, it goes by so fast, and I've really enjoyed it. And so since that first year, I've been over at basketball.
You did 1 year of football, just 1 year.
And
Then you came
basketball
over.
position opened
Did
up.
basketball, got the job.
Right place, right time.
Right place, right time. How many coaches have you worked for at WVU?
Well, mainly 3.
Mainly 3.
Coach Catlett,
Go ahead.
Coach Beeline,
Beeline, Catlett,
and Coach Huggins.
Hugs.
Unless we want to count the
2
1
weeks,
week,
one week?
of Dockage.
Dockage, huh?
Yeah.
I bet every one of those guys, I'm going to guess, I know how coaches are. Each coach is different.
Oh, yeah.
Each coach wants certain things done a certain way, I would think. Can you share, or are you willing to share a few about each coach that maybe a pet peeve or something that each coach wanted to get done or whatever, or made it tough for you, or made your job easier or whatever?
Wanted to share is
Let's go with Catlett first.
Actually, I mean, he was easy to get along with.
Right.
Kind of in a way like Huggins in the sense of give me who I can coach, you get
Right.
whoever's broken fixed, and
Right.
get them back to me.
Get 'em back
But,
to me, right?
I want to know what's going on. I want them back as soon as possible.
Right.
But we're not going to,
Right.
I'm going to coach who I can play.
Right.
So, that was good, and Coach Huggs is good about that. With Coach Catlett, obviously that was mostly before 2000. Athletic training, the resources we had and everything
Completely
were not as
changed,
good.
huh?
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah.
So there wasn't as much resources in. We did what we could, and I think we
Right.
still did a good job. But
Right,
compared to
right.
this day and age and what
Right.
we have now,
Right.
night and day.
Night and day difference, huh?
Yeah, right. And, you look at our facilities. A lot of that is because of Coach Huggins.
Sure.
I mean, that basketball practice facility wouldn't be there without Coach Huggins.
No doubt. Unbelievable.
And the resources I have on a daily basis.
Right.
So much better.
Yeah, I mean, when we moved into that practice facility, your life became a lot easier, man. Like, big time, right? I mean,
Right. Oh, definitely.
More space, more things to work with.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
those pools are an excellent resource.
They're unbelievable, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those get used every day.
How about Beeline?
Beeline, he breaks everything down.
Go ahead.
Excellent practice coach. I always think of him as like if he was an athletic trainer, he'd be one of the best rehabbers there ever was because he breaks everything down and builds it up. And you see, okay, that exercise, that practice, that
Now you see why it all comes together?
Yeah, now you see why it came together.
Right.
and you see, okay, in the game, I see what he's doing and everything.
Right.
And he will admit he was always been a head coach. He was never an assistant coach.
No, that's right.
So from the junior college to where he's at now, he was always a head coach.
Right.
So he said, his young upbringing as a head coach, he had to do everything.
Right. Sure.
So with that, he would catch himself, but he would want to micromanage sometimes, and it fell into every area.
Yeah, sure.
So he may micromanage my area or the equipment or the travel. He micromanaged a little bit.
Yeah.
So good news and bad news.
I got you. I got you.
So, but obviously we were successful.
Everybody does it different.
Right.
I know when I started out in coaching 1976, after playing, as a player at the University of Maryland, then I started coaching. When I started out, training, put that spray, you shaved your ankles down and that tough skin and taped it skin on skin. You guys don't do that anymore.
If we had the rules as strict as when I first started, or I'm sure JJ over at Maryland, the rules he had, I don't think anybody would get taped or anything, because these guys, shave my hair,
exactly.
spray. I don't want you to spray.
Exactly. Isn't it crazy?
You got to pick and choose your battles,
right.
And, I tell my students when I teach, how it used to be and how it is now, but, I mean, I still got to protect ankles and tape ankles, but, I mean, is it worth going to Coach Huggins to argue about whether we're going to use spray or not?
Exactly.
No. But I got to still get the job done.
Now, did Catlett, I know, doesn't Hugs have a rule that you got to get taped every day?
Yeah.
They don't really do that, do they?
Well, it starts and then it wavers.
I hear you.
Yeah.
How about Beeline and Catlett? Do they have mandatory taped ankles?
No, and you think about, again, we go back to the resources and the budget, and the things back in the 80s and 90s with Coach Catlett. Strength training back then wasn't as big as it was now. So, but no, we didn't have to tape every ankle. Now, the ones with history, sure, we taped and everything, but not everyone.
This is crazy, but back in 1971, my freshman year at the University of Maryland, Lefty Driesell, the Hall of Famer, you had to tape every day.
Huh.
Everybody had to get taped. Couldn't go on the floor. He would check. Lefty would, let me see your ankles. And if somebody didn't try to tape him, he'd send you back. He'd send you back in there.
Well.
He was a stickler on it, man.
Well.
And he said, you know what? He said, why did anybody sprain their ankle? He says, I don't want to lose anybody, That's just how he thought, so.
Yeah.
Oxford, Ohio. So you went to what high school?
Only one high school there, Talawanda.
Talawanda, huh?
Talawanda High School.
You knew my boy Purcell, right?
Oh, yeah. The Purcell family, their dad was the equipment manager at Miami.
How about that?
Yeah. Kevin, Danny, and Dave Purcell.
How about that?
3 boys.
Good family, man.
Yeah. My mom and Irma still go out to lunch at least once a month.
Is that right? Do they
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just talked about that the other night.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Good people.
Small town like Mayberry.
Yeah, you know what? But Oxford's a beautiful campus.
Yep.
Gorgeous school. Sort of like, I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but at Ohio University, when we played Miami, they were sort of like the preppy school.
Yep.
We were the Cowboys, at Ohio U.
Yeah, the fraternities and sororities are big at Miami, but I was a local. I was a townie, so I didn't participate in that.
I got you.
Yeah.
How many games left? We got 4 left?
4 games left. 2 of them are against the 8 and 9 team in the conference, though. So.
Right. 4 left. 2 away, 2 here, right? How many away games we got?
2 away. Oklahoma State,
okay.
Iowa State home, and then back out to the Big 12.
The Big 12 tournament.
Yeah.
For the Big 12 tournament, knowing you have a chance to play 3, if you finish down the bottom, you play 4 days in a row, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
What kind of preparation and what will you do to get the guys ready if we get up, went on a goal, like a 3-day swing?
Yeah, well, Coach, again, is really good about this and helping enforcing because he knows that situation.
Right.
And then the Big 12 does an excellent job with providing resources out there. The host athletic trainer, the host athletic training room is really nice. So, one area is nutrition. Another area is rest, but there's not a lot of rest when you have that many games that quickly.
Because you're walking through stuff. You're still
we got still prepare.
You're still preparing.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll rest, but we travel with those Normatechs. So those boots that we talk about,
gotcha.
We travel with those. They can use those in the room in the hallway at the hotel.
Right.
In the athletic training room at the Sprint Center, which is a beautiful facility, they have cold tubs in there.
Right.
And so we win. Those players that played are down in the cold tubs right after the game, right after media.
Right.
Back at the hotel, I might take them through the pool.
Right.
Again, we got foam rollers, stretch them.
Right.
Again, push nutrition the next day. And I think everybody's pretty good about that, especially tournament time, because people want to make it to the next game and keep winning.
Doc, being in the business as long as you've been in it, what drives you? What makes you excel in your business? Why do you like it so much? Tell me what.
Well, last night takes care of a lot of it. I mean,
really.
I like to win. I still like to compete.
Right.
That's still a lot of fun.
Right.
I mean, highs and lows. We're up and down. You think we're going to win, and maybe a ref takes it away from us, or something.
Right?
Yeah, but no, it's fun. I like getting people back is a great thing, and there's opportunities and clinics and everything like that. And I joke, not to be mean, but some workman's comp may not be as motivated to get back, or some people in a clinic may not be as motivated to get back, or they just want to get back to their activities of daily living, which is good and important.
Right.
But dealing with an athlete, they want to get back at the highest level and back to where they were. Whether it's running, jumping, whatever their sport is, and working with athletes.
Sure.
And I've always enjoyed basketball. Working with athletes, you got that competitive spirit to get back, make their body as best they can.
Right.
And then, rewarding of a game.
Right. Now,
let
me ask this. In the 40 years that you've been.
No, not 40. Do them 30.
30 how many?
35. 34,
35. Pretty close. All the years being on the bench, 35 years on that bench in basketball, have you ever got a technical foul?
No. Nope.
Have the referees ever told you, calm down over there?
One might have looked at me one time.
What? Gave you a bad look?
Yeah.
You remember what you said?
Probably was asking for a foul or something.
Bad call.
Yeah.
Last thing, the business keeps you young, doesn't it?
Definitely.
I swear, my 40 years of coaching, being around the kids every day, I know I was aging age-wise, but by being around the kids, I swear it keeps you young.
Oh, definitely.
You got to be on top of the stuff.
Right. I was telling Bev driving up here, I said, it was a good day. It was a good day with the athletes. All of them was in. Some of them came in early. Had some really good quality time. They're asking questions. I feel like,
really?
They're in the mood right now where, we might make progress on – because these guys are playing, but they still may have a sore knee, a sore ankle, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was a really good day with the athletes. And, you walk away today feeling really good that you helped people and did something. And, again, they're all 18 to 22, so, it does make me feel younger until I look in the mirror. But,
Randy, isn't it amazing what a win does for you?
Oh, yeah.
Like last night's win caused all those guys to have great attitudes today. They wanted to get in. They were excited about getting treatments.
Yep.
And compared to a heartbreaking loss or something, I tell you what, I think we were really fortunate to win last night, because if we would have lost a triple overtime, I think as many times as this team's been smacked this year, that I kept on watching the game last night. I said, just let us win.
Yeah.
Just let us win. Just let us win, so we don't. We'll be able to move on.
Right, for the players, I was
so happy for everybody last night.
I wanted that at Baylor too, for the players, because they've really come together. They're practicing better, but you need a little reward to
you know
know
what?
that.
You could see the last two games. the chemistry and the closeness, because our numbers are limited. But I mean, I feel like they might be the closest they've been all year.
Oh, I agree.
Without a doubt,
definitely.
right?
I agree, definitely.
Yeah.
And so I like them to be rewarded for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, listen, thank you very much.
All right.
Go grab yourself something to eat.
Yep.
I got my second guest has arrived. We'll talk to Jay Kuntz the next half hour. We'll be right back with you. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Billy.
Doc. Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Second half hour of the show. Jay Kuntz, who is, what's your title? Assistant to the head coach, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that the title?
Yes, sir.
If you see Jay during the games, Jay's always got his little. What do you chart? What do you chart on the sidelines?
We do the substitutions.
You got substitutes and matchups. You still in charge of that?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So Jay, the 10 years that I was here, Jay, when he became our grad assistant, moved on to the title he has now. He would be the guy that was always watching the other team's subs come in.
Yes, sir.
And he would have to communicate to our players.
Yep.
You got so-and-so, you got so-and-so.
Yes, sir.
And you would tell the coach that had that scout,
Yes, sir.
they're subbing, this is they were bringing in.
No doubt.
So that coach that had the scout
Yes, sir.
could talk to him about personnel.
Yes, sir.
What else you do on that sideline?
On that sideline, I got a little animated. Obviously, right now, especially with the young team we have, we try to keep them as engaged, no matter where we're at in the game, no matter how good or bad things are going.
Right.
I think right now, last night you touched on it with Randy earlier, how big of a win last night is, and I know you look at the record and you say, we are 11-17. How's that a big win?
That's a huge win last night.
No doubt.
Huge.
And like you said, a triple overtime game, you can't lose that, especially because I think these guys and the resiliency through this has been great. And, the young guys and the guys that Huggs still has around are buying into what he's teaching.
Right.
And
you can see it.
There's no doubt. And that's a big testament. You got upper class, you got Chase. Chase Harler's been phenomenal. He's kind of been forced into it as a junior now just because he's the upperclassman on the team. Chase is a kid that does and says the right things. I mean, he's a great program guy, and he's a great guy to have around these young guys and put them in the right direction.
He played good last night.
Played great. That's what happened when you pass him the ball.
He made some big shots
Yes,
last
he did.
night.
Yes, he did.
I mean, daggers.
Yes, he did.
That corner shot was a dagger.
And that just shows you his experience. He's been part of 3 Sweet 16 teams.
Right, exactly.
And you can't make up that experience, especially in big games like that. I mean, it helps.
I think the less amount of players we have right now has been a help.
I agree.
Talk about that.
I think, like the closeness of this group, if you have seen the games, has been a lot better. I mean, the cohesiveness. I mean, you saw that game at Baylor. We should have won that game at Baylor. It's one of those things where, unfortunately, we ran out of a little bit of juice at the end of the game, but they competed their butts off.
Right,
And honestly,
right.
we were in position to win that game.
Right.
And then last night, they continued that. They fought. They never quit. The first 2 minutes of the game was ugly. But,
bad.
Huggs got in them a little bit, and, they're competing. And the number of guys, obviously that gives you less options. But it also allows you to trust and play with the guys more and to let them play through things.
Right, exactly.
You're not seeing guys – you're seeing a lot more patience from Coach Huggs.
I thought last night, Jay, they played their minds were free.
Yep.
It looked like they weren't always looking over their shoulder.
Exactly.
He's going to sub for me if I make a mistake.
No doubt.
Or I miss a shot.
Yeah.
I do something wrong. Huggs has sort of let him play because he really has to.
He has to.
Because he doesn't have a whole bunch of numbers anymore.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Those guys played last night. 52 minutes, 50. I mean, the minutes were crazy last night.
Yeah, they were living in Randy's room today.
Unbelievable crazy those minutes last night.
No doubt.
And
No doubt.
besides Harler, Jordan McCabe was phenomenal last night.
He played well.
Directed traffic, got us into our offense.
Yeah.
I thought our execution of our man-to-man offense was pretty doggone good last night.
I agree. I agree with you. And honestly, we talk about defensively, I thought they were good too.
Yeah, we did.
You know, Alex Robinson, Bain. I don't think Bain's missed a workout since probably high school. I've never seen a body or a kid transform in over a year.
Strong, huh?
Yeah, and honestly, those guys.
Yeah.
Alex Robinson leads the league, other than the kid Halliburton from Iowa State in assists.
Yeah.
And they've played against 4 really good guards the last 2 games. Obviously, the kid Mason from Baylor.
Right.
And obviously, you add Robinson to that last night. They've held their own. They've done really, really well. And the mixture of Jermaine, Jordan, and Chase have done great.
Exactly.
And honestly, I'm proud of them. I can't sit here and tell you, obviously it's been a frustrating year and nobody likes losing. But at the end of the day, you can see progress being made, and their resiliency and them buying in has been more evident. And you've been at practice. I mean, it's been 10 times better.
Way better.
The zip, they're flying around. They're playing for one another.
You know what? They are. They're playing for one another.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
I say, you look at the great teams across the country.
Yep.
Not only great teams have talent, but they have
the culture.
You can just feel it.
Yep.
You can feel the togetherness those teams
cohesion
have.
is very important, man. No doubt.
Confidence.
Yep.
I think confidence has become huge. So we talked about Harler, talked about McCabe.
Yep.
How about our boy Derek Culver?
Our boy DC is a man-child.
I mean, John Thompson III had our game on TV last night.
Yes, sir.
Now, obviously, he's been around a long time.
He's coached a lot of good players, too.
Coached a lot of good players. Been around a lot of good players. He didn't stop talking about Derek Culver last night.
It's hard not to be enamored by him, and you sit here and think about this. He's been suspended half the year earlier on. And mind you, that's not, I said suspended, I use that word. It just, he's a phenomenal kid.
That was the agreement that Hugs and him made.
He's a great kid.
Hugs made him sign a contract, correct?
Yep. Hugs
Tell
made him sign
about
the
contract that he signed.
Just that he had to be to class on time. He had to get everywhere early.
Right.
And DC's a great kid. I mean, it's hard not to be enamored with a kid like that just because his smile, his personality, it's contagious.
Right.
Now, we all make mistakes, especially freshmen.
Right.
But, DC is someone that's important, man, and he's obviously important to this team's future. And, DC's he's one of those kids that has never really had much direction.
Right.
And that's where Hugs is so good at what he does is, okay, you don't have much direction. You're welcome to West Virginia. You're going to do it's my way or the highway.
Right, exactly.
And I think that applies to a lot of players, in different facets. I think DC in that regard. I think Jordan in his guard, like everyone says.
You know what? Exactly.
Jordan is.
Hugs has been good to all.
Yeah.
Hugs has been good to all those guys.
No doubt.
In a different way with each one of them.
Without a doubt.
Like, it's amazing to see.
Without a doubt. And you can see the maturity of certain guys. And I can't say, like I said, I really am so proud of them. And I texted after the game last night, I texted all those guys, and I texted Chase. Think about this. I don't think there's been a guy who's come off the bench and played 52 minutes.
How about that?
That
might be a record.
I think it is.
WVU, right?
This is. I got a couple things.
You know what? Give me some of those.
Listen to this stat.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the stats.
That was one of the stats last night.
That's one of the stats I heard. Here's another stat for you.
This is a great stat.
True freshman Jordan McCabe finished the game with 52, my boy. That'd be great. But 25 points.
25 points.
11 assists.
11 assists.
And 5 rebounds. Something only Hall of Famer Rod Thorne has ever done in school history.
How about that?
Also, he added 6 steals to that.
I read on Twitter today that he's the only college basketball player since 2009, maybe, a guy from Ohio University.
Ohio U, yep.
Right? I think I saw that today.
The last time that happened. Also, think about this. Derek Culver, the last player to get 20 and 20.
Yeah.
Maurice Robinson, 1979.
But he had 22 rebounds and 20 points.
Yeah. Yep.
Watching him last night, Jay.
Yep.
He would go after rebounds.
No doubt.
He would try to chase rebounds down.
No doubt.
I remember him going to the corner of that one play, right over there by you.
By me.
He saves it.
I thought I was getting taken out.
Unbelievable. And you know what? He made a big steal at the other end to knock the ball down.
He baited him into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He baited him into it. But you know what, though? That's another thing. You see these guys, and they're maturing. They're maturing little by little. Early on, you see DC get the ball, and he wasn't kicking it out. Right. Now, he's getting that double team, which you've coached forever. That's a special trait, is be able to catch it one side of the block and be able to kick it opposite.
Right.
And, he had a good thought. He had a good thought to kick it opposite. He would have had Chase open. He just he zipped it. He waited a little bit, a second too long for it.
Right.
But for them being able to close on him and kicking out is getting those guys good shots, getting those guys better shots. Chase Harlow in the corner yesterday, we talk about that big three.
Yeah.
Jordan had the ball at the top of the key.
Yeah.
Jermaine was baited in. And most people aren't going to see Chase in that far corner.
That's exactly right.
And Jordan hit that one-handed pass and hit a big three for us to go up 5. And they're playing well together. And that's the difference. They have a guy like Chase who's been there, who preaches what the coaches preach. And, again, he's going to have his good games. He's going to have his bad games just like everybody else.
Right.
But that constant reassurance, that constant, hey, this is how we do things is more important in times like this than anything.
Exactly. I thought last night that we made the extra pass last night the best that we've played all year long.
Without a doubt.
Brought me back a few memories of the Kansas game here.
Yeah.
Because that game, I thought everybody played for each other.
Yeah.
And played for the right reason.
Agreed.
No selfishness. Extra pass was made that night.
No doubt.
But last night I thought it was the best we've had making the extra pass.
I agree with you.
Very unselfish team last night.
I agree, and like I said, I that is a testament to, this coaching staff, and you were part of it, and you know more than anybody because you guys know the time and hours you put in. And poor Doc. Doc deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. He's in that friggin' training room longer than anybody ever in that building. And, they don't give themselves enough credit. And, yeah, we're 11-17. What do you, Jay, you're crazy. What do you mean by not giving enough credit?
Right.
First of all, we had 2 dismissals, 2 starters. One 3-year starter, the other one's a 4-year starter.
Right.
Okay? They're gone. Things happen. Other guys, we have injuries. Our best player of the year is injured, out for the entire year.
Right.
He's back there. Those guards look a hell of a lot better on defense. You and I both know that.
Absolutely, yep.
More importantly, him and Beadle are out.
Right.
So now you're playing true freshmen. All right? And the thing is, okay, you looked at, heck, we remember when we brought in, we saw Derek, you always knew it was going to be a man-child. His body is...
Right.
It's
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And then you got guys like Jordan who, okay, you knew it was going to take time for Jordan to do what we needed him to do. Why? Because he's always been able to do what he wanted.
Right.
And, defensively in high school,
let's be real.
Exactly. Think about this. He leads the team in deflections.
Is that right? I didn't
Something
know
that you had to start a chart when we were here.
Exactly.
He leads the team in deflections.
I did not know that.
From where he's at now to where he was a month ago, it's leaps and bounds, man.
Defensively, he's been unbelievable.
Oh, it's not even close. And you sit here.
Way
and
better.
Hugs Hugs is the most humble guy in the world.
Right.
And he's not going to he'll downplay everything because he doesn't give himself credit along with Larry, Eric, and those guys. But it's special what they're been doing. Folks, I don't think you've seen the end of it yet. I think this team's going to keep getting better and better. I do. I think where we're at, I think they're playing for each other. I think they're hungry. Like you said with Randy earlier, it's unbelievable what a win and that kind of taste and competitiveness can do for a team. It was real easy the way we lost to Baylor for them to pack it in. We're 10-17.
Right.
We're not looking great. There's only a couple games left. Or you go out there and take every opportunity you have. You compete for each other. You compete because, that the one thing Hugs preaches is when you put on the West Virginia jersey, you don't just play for yourself and the name of the back. You play for that state in the front. And that's something that no matter what. There was, for a 10-17, there was a good crowd there last night, and we appreciate that.
Right.
We understand people are frustrated. We are too.
Sure.
There's no one more frustrated than us.
Exactly.
But it's a special thing, and I think you guys are going to keep being proud because this team is going to continue to compete and continue to give it their all the rest of the season. And that's something where, in today's world, which this, when you say my generation, you always blame me.
Right.
It
is your generation.
It is. But, it's the instant gratification generation where people want it's all about me right now. And if I'm not giving it, there's no patience. I'm out. And that's not how it has to be. And that's why Hugs has had so much success is because he preaches patience. He preaches, you're going to do it the way we demand you to do it. And that's why he's been so successful. And that's why you guys have had that stretch of success throughout your guys' tenure. And it's a process. It really is.
Jay, I was proud last night after the game when Derek Culver went on TV. Mm-hmm. John Thompson III interviewed him with the play-by-play guy. What's his name? Brown,
the young game.
I want to tell you something. Culver was Really, really good during
Really
that interview.
good.
I mean, really good. Handled it well. Spoke very good and was well thought out on what he said.
doubt.
And I've been watching that kid. I'm going, how can you not be proud of this kid?
No doubt. And you sit there, and I mean, I think everyone caught a glimpse of the future the last couple games, not just yesterday, but little by little, you've seen these guys start to grow up in front of our own eyes, and you see like, wow, they can do some really good things here in the future, and that's what it's about right now, and getting these guys experience not just for now, but for going into next year, so we could get back on track and get back to the ways we're accustomed to winning.
Right.
And you sit there. I listen to Derek. I always go back. I watch the post-game interviews. Just because
Sure.
It's kind of one of those things I've done. I'm neurotic about it, but I'll go
Right.
through and see how they sound, see how they answer certain questions. And I listened to Derek. I was so proud of him after that. And I listened to Jordan with Holly Rowe today on ESPN Radio. He was phenomenal. And you really see these guys buying into what Hugs is preaching and what the program really preaches and it's all about.
I saw they came out today with the tournament announcement to Cancun.
Yeah, the Cancun Challenge.
We're going to Cancun Challenge
We're on the Cancun Challenge.
the week before Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
And the matchups?
I saw some of them.
Yeah, I saw it today. So we're going to Cancun. On Tuesday we play Northern Iowa.
Yep.
And South Carolina plays Wichita State.
Fighting Teddy Allen's.
So, exactly. That's right. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, that's the first thing I thought of.
Teddy Allen's going to be there. I didn't think about
Yeah.
that. Wow. So, the two winners, and they project, they think it's going to be West Virginia versus Frankie, South Carolina.
Yep.
Which will be Frank Martin versus Bob Huggins.
No doubt.
Who they coached together for years.
For years.
And they're best buddies and the whole thing.
Yep, with each other at Cincinnati for a brief period of time, and then obviously at K-State with each other. So that's that will be if we get there and things go as planned, it would be awesome to play them.
Right.
I look forward to, like I said, obviously next year, but I look forward to continuing this year too, man. I cannot tell you, I am proud of these guys that have stuck out with it. I'm proud that they continue to fight and have brought in that attitude every day. Hey, well, let's get better each and every day. And Hugs has been re-energized too, man.
Absolutely.
He's able to teach. He's
Absolutely.
able to have guys around that are listening, and to someone who is so accomplished as him, it's nice to see him enjoy it, and that's important because a lot of people, especially 10 and 17, usually pack it in. That's not in his DNA.
Exactly.
He's going to fight, and he's going to have these guys fight into that last belt. I mean, that last horn goes off.
Right.
Whether we win or whether we lose, they're going to keep fighting no matter what. And that's the epitome of West Virginia, honestly. People count us down, we always keep going.
So, Jay, go through the remaining games of the season we have leading into the Big 12 tournament.
Yep. Well, we got this Saturday against Oklahoma at OU. That's a big game anyhow because, there's still chances. And you're looking at it, who in this league are you really afraid of?
Right. I got you.
And I mean that. We sit there and we talk.
Right.
If there's one team I said I didn't want to have to play more than we have to is Iowa State.
Yeah.
Just because of the depth they have. They have guys sitting on that bench that could start on most teams. But when I look top to bottom,
so
I'm
we got
not afraid.
Oklahoma.
We got Oklahoma. Then you got Iowa State at home. But it's at home. And then the following weekend, Saturday again, you're on the road to Oklahoma State. You finish the season.
So we got
regular
Oklahoma
season.
on the road and Oklahoma State on the road.
Yes, sir.
Before the Big 12 tournament.
Before the Big 12 tournament.
With one home game against Iowa State.
Which is senior night.
Pretty good schedule.
Pretty good schedule, and like I said, lots of opportunity.
At Iowa State, and that's a Friday night game?
Doc, I don't think so. Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
What is it?
It's a Wednesday night. Wednesday night. Yeah.
When will you leave for Oklahoma?
We'll leave for Oklahoma Friday night. I believe afternoon game, which is good. At least these guys won't get back because we just love the Big 12 travel.
Go ahead.
And obviously come back after that game. But the thing is the preparation. Obviously, we've been prepping. You had to give the day. I mean, today was a great recovery day. And I went downstairs. I saw a lot of faces in Doc's training room that I hadn't normally seen, which is great. And, Randy does a fantastic job.
Yep.
But, getting these guys' bodies and minds right, getting ready for prep tomorrow. I mean, we prep tomorrow, prep Friday, leave Friday.
What time's practice tomorrow?
Late one, 4 to 7.
Gotcha.
4 to 7. And then we'll practice 1:30 to 4:30 on Friday and right up, wheels up to Oklahoma.
Slide out of here.
Slide out of here.
Hey, it's been a good run with a lot of adversity this year.
No doubt.
Hugs told me when I was up by there, Monday's practice I went to.
Yeah.
He said, Billy, he says, I've never had anything like this ever happen to me before.
Yeah.
Where all the craziness of our season, he said, Billy, he said, this is, if somebody told me before the year started that this was going to happen, and this was going to happen, and this was going to happen,
he said, no way.
He said, there's no way. No one believes it.
No.
I mean, just incident after incident.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming out.
Always, brother. Anything for you, you know that.
We will be back next week on Tuesday, 6 o'clock to 7 as well. And not sure who I'm going to have yet next week, but we'll be back on Tuesday night. Because we play at home on Wednesday?
Play at home on Wednesday.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
well,
thanks.
Pleasure,
and again, thank you to the Dominion Post. This will be online, dominionpost.com. Be online, up and loaded tomorrow morning by 9 o'clock. Again, thanks to the Green Turtle. Thanks for the staff here at the Green Turtle. And appreciate you all coming out. See you next week. Thanks.